Hello, lovely listeners, and welcome to the Talented Darlings podcast. I'm Talia.
I'm Talia.
And today, ladies, gentlemen, and they, thems, we are going to be talking about the amazing digital circus last act. Woo! Helele, we saw it. What was it? Helele. We watched it in theaters on, June 6th, 2026. It's currently, at the time of recording, it's June 10. And when this releases, it's gonna be after June 19th, because we're respecting Mr. Fish and not giving out spoilers right away. So
Exactly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Exactly.
So, we're just gonna be talking about how we felt about it. We're not gonna go into too much detail of the actual episode like we usually do. And yeah, this is pretty much our reaction to, like, a show we've been following for, like, 3 years now, so, like, holy crap.
Exactly.
Okay, first things first. Theater experience. How did you find the interaction in the theater? How did you find it to be, like, were you annoyed by some people? Were you okay with it? Like, how did you feel about it?
Actually, I'm surprised the theater experience was not bad. I actually appreciate how many people came in like cosplay. Like, it was so cute, especially how many kids were in cosplay. And there was also older people who came with them. And it was like wearing like digital circus merch. And I was like, damn, that is so cute. And I actually respect that, like, the theater etiquette where nobody was like, screaming or anything. Like, people were respectful, surprisingly. So I personally found it pretty good. And I appreciate that no one stank, because, like, some theaters, I'm sorry.
Well, to be fair, we were, like, front row, so there wasn't really anyone we could smell.
Yeah, true. But I appreciate how people were respectful. Like, for them, like, sometimes there was like the occasional loud giggling, but I appreciate how people were so appreciative and were clapping, especially at the end of like episode 8 when like it finished and then it was time for the actual last act, and everyone was like clapping at every interval. It was like, it just shows, I just love how appreciative people are.
Mm-hmm.
And I was surprised that even like kids were super respectful, because I know most of the audience was like teenagers or like young kids, so I was surprised that they were really respectful.
Yeah, I will say I was expecting people to be a lot louder or a lot more disruptive during the movie, because I've had horrible movie experiences where people will just go crazy. Like, I had the Minecraft movie. I had a hard time. My poor sister, like, she got chucked with popcorn, and it was not a fun time. But yeah, it was very respectful. The theater that we went to, everyone was very respectful. Everyone, like, there wasn't even any singing during running the show, which I was like sad about. But you know what? Thinking about it now, I'm like, it's for people who like maybe didn't see episode 8 before coming to the theater. It's good to just let people enjoy how it is, and as like a way to be like woo about it. Everyone clapped after the song was finished, and I found that really amazing.
Yeah.
It's like, yay,
Exactly.
Alex, we love your singing. So I think we only had like one incident of someone yelling, which was like during the part where Pomni confronts Jax, and the person behind us was like, "Kiss already!"
But that was so funny though. I feel like everybody loved it.
I think that was the only time that someone yelled out. It was so funny though. It was so funny.
I know. They were like, I was like, honestly, they were thinking this what we were thinking.
I don't know about you. I'm not a big shipper in this show, except for Tragedy, but like I found it funny. If we were alone, I would have been much more vocal because I was really holding it in because we were in a theater. But I feel like if we watched this at like one of our houses, I would have been like on my feet, like, motherfucker, what do you mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would have literally during running the show been like, yes, running the show.
Yeah. But yeah, I really enjoyed the experience that we got. We were luckier than most people, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. Because I hear so many horror stories of people at the movies, and they're like, guys, why are they so weird?
Dude, as soon as I got home from the theater, my TikTok was flooded with like spoilers and whatever, but I also saw like people talking about how this one guy brought a baby or like a 3-year-old into the theater to watch this movie, and I'm like, Do y'all not like look at the fine print or like look at the like? Do you just bring your kids to any animated thing that shows up in theaters? Like,
yeah, because they're like, oh, you know, it's animated, so it's a kids movie.
No, sir. I would have been like, are you sure about this? Like, even when we saw a couple kids and I'm like, okay, well, they look like 10, 11. Like, I think that's like the, like, it's like they're 10, 11, 12. Like, okay, it's not so bad, but there is like cursing and there is like horror aspects to this show. So it's like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There are horror elements, yeah, but it's made in a way that's for all ages, you know?
I don't know. It's
except for babies, except for fetuses.
Not babies. They advertised it as like I would say like this show is more PG-13, if anything.
Yeah,
12, 11,
exactly.
like, okay, there's some aspects that like, but it's like showing your kid, like certain animes. Like, I wouldn't show Fairy Tail because of the violence, and also because like there's a lot of fan service in that show. Like, technically there's not blood in the animated version. There's no like nothing actual gore happening, but it's still inappropriate. And I feel like it's like parents with iPad kids. Like, they don't research the things that their kids are watching. So
exactly, because you're like, oh, here, take an iPad, you know, watch some Elsa Gate and stuff. Like, that's what happened with Elsa Gate.
Yeah, I know. Oh my god. But anyway, we should get back on track. How did you feel about the last episode, and like what was your favorite and what was your least favorite aspects of it? Like, what do you think could have been better?
Okay, so I was an emotional wreck after the last act, but also I was also sad. It was like this bittersweet feeling where it's like, oh my god, it's like it's over, you know, it's like we're all sad, but at the same time it was like a good conclusion to the story, if that makes sense. Because we've been following it for 3 years, and it's like after 3 years we get a conclusion, we get like an answer in some ways, but it was still bittersweet because like, oh, we're no longer going to be like anticipating another episode. We're no longer going to be like sitting at our screens, like waiting for the next episode, reloading when is the next episode. But I feel like it was bittersweet where it's like we get a conclusion, but at the same time it's like sad because what now, you know? Emotional wreck. What about you?
Well, for me, like you saw how I reacted. I was like, oh my god, what the hell is happening right now? So like right away, I found that them redoing the song from the beginning of the show, like Tingle and Zubo and King. I was like, oh my god, I can't. I'm gonna start crying because like, oh my god. And then we get to the part where, if you guys listen to our discussion video of the series, I made a theory that the characters, their bodies weren't in the circuits. It was only like their brain scans. And it was confirmed that they were just brain scans. And I turned to Talia and I'm like, oh my god, I was right. Oh my god, I was right. I was right.
Why was you right?
It took me a second.
I saw you. You were like, oh my god.
No, it took me a second to realize that was what they were confirming, because Kinger, he says like, I saw that our brain scans were there, and I guess Kane was able to like do this and this and that. And I'm like, wait. Is this confirming? And then Jax was like, looks like you're gonna change the world after all, or you're gonna stay with mommy dearest. And I'm like, oh my god, I was fucking right. I knew it. Cause like, it doesn't make sense that their bodies is in this world. So I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I feel like the reveal was very like, I don't want to say like it was too abrupt, but I'm like, it's the last episode. Like, it makes sense. Like, Kinger saw the coding and everything, right? So
yeah,
there's that. And then this whole episode was just everyone crying and being emotional. Like Jax, when he was like looking up and trying not to cry, I'm like, oh my god, it's for real now. This shit is getting so for real. Like, this whole episode is gonna be a crying fest. And then
yeah, exactly.
We see the characters like learning how to like rebuild the circus. And Jax like tries to go and talk to Pomni, but then he turns away, and everyone in the theater was like, come on, man!
Yeah, exactly. I was like, damn it, Jax.
Damn it, Jax. And then you hear Pomni being like, I should have talked to him more or something. I should have tried harder. And then you see the abstraction in the balcony. And I thought for a second that the abstractions from the basement made their way up. But then Zubul was like, but then Zubul said like, Zubul said Jax's name. And I'm like, what? What? No, you gotta be joking. I'm like so abrupt. Like, I don't know if you don't watch JoJo, but there was a scene in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure where a character abruptly died. And I remember being like, oh my god, this is an Abdul situation. Like, what the fuck? Like, how abrupt is that death, bro? So then everyone's crying over, like, not crying over it. Like, Gangle had a really important moment where she's like, I don't know why I can't cry for him. Like, I've known him for so long, but I can't bring myself to cry for him. Which I found like, oh my god, like, my baby, my poor baby.
It's kind of like when you hear someone who abused you, like, dies or, like, something happens to them, but you can't feel any sort of sadness for them. Because, like, Gangle was basically abused by Jax for, like, a majority of the show. So her not feeling sad for him, it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like this relief for her where it's, like, yeah, she feels bad, but at the same time, she can't feel sorry for him because of how he treated her, you know?
Yeah, I think it's mixed feelings because, like, because from backstory information, we learned that, oh, they were together since Ribbit abstracted, and, like, he always got, like, teamed up with her during activities and stuff. And it wasn't until Zubul showed up that, like, she started to have more, like, no, don't treat me like this. Like, I'm hanging out with Zubul, like, stuff like that. But anyway, so then I gotta talk about this scene. Pomni is like, Ragatha, you're a really good friend. And then they hug. But then there's like there's a 45 seconds of them just looking at each other, and I'm like, she looks at me, and I look at her, and I'm like, okay, this is such an emotional scene, but that scene had no business being as long as it was, and I was like almost laughing in the theater, like, bro, is it just because we need the runtime to be a certain amount that you're making this so long right now?
I know.
It's like, I'm trying not to cackle. I'm trying not to cackle with this emotional scene happening. And then Pomni goes and looks for Jax. And we just see her, like, pull up a gun. And everyone in the theater was like, oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I was literally like, all the other kids with the pump. Run, but
yeah. I loved this episode a lot. Like, it was very emotional. Like, yeah. Jax's whole, like, oh my god. I have to say this. I love the whole, like, backstory with Jax and how it was handled with the abstraction coming in and out, and also, like, how he thinks about everyone. But the scene where he was in the maid outfit with Gangle, and he's like, oh, I know you. I know. I was like, I cringed so hard. There's a little smirk on his face. I'm like, dude, stay away from her. Like,
I know. I was like, that's, I was living in my head. I was like,
I was like hiding my face in my hands. I'm like, dude, stop. Don't do this to me right now. But it was...
They're probably appealing to the, you know, that side of the fandom.
Oh, 100%. Are you kidding me? And then that whole sequence was like, when Pomni was around to like hug him, and they had the whole like, and Jax's final words being like, I don't want to go. And then I heard you say like, damn, Michael. Cause like, yeah, that was exactly what I was feeling. Cause
I was like, damn, Michael.
Yeah, cause like all the characters in this, all the voice actors and actresses and what have you in this pilot, in this show, like they are so good at making you feel for the character, and like, yeah, they killed it a lot, especially in this episode. And like, I remember seeing tweets of like the actors being like, oh, we just finished recording for episode 9 and I'm a wreck. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm not gonna survive this episode. Another thing I'm like iffy about was like Kane all of a sudden coming back with like no effort from the cruise.
Yeah.
Part. That felt so abrupt. So it felt so abrupt in the moment. So I'm like, okay, so he wasn't deleted, or he was just sent to the void, or like, did he save himself? Like, nothing was explained. And then,
exactly.
And then he goes into the void and like goes to the door, and then he goes to the search bar to like input everyone's names. And then I see Zoe as one of the names, and I'm like, oh my god, there's a Zoe! Because in our previous discussion video, I had said that Gangle was Zoe, like that her name would be Zoe because she looks like a Zoe. And then it was confirmed that Zoe is Gangle's real name in the real world. And I'm like, oh my god, I fucking nailed that! Like, I was so happy that my theories were so right
Jax's
in this.
name. We were like, I'm pretty sure his name is Zach, you guys. Like, his name is Zach.
No, dude. No. But, anyway, the abruptness of, like, Jax's abstraction and Kane's return were the only gripes I had. And also the idea, the fact that it was very Jax focused this whole episode when it's supposed to be a conclusion to the whole thing. But I feel like if they focused more on Jax and, like, who he was as a character throughout the whole show, it would make more sense. But it was just very, like, Jax focused on this episode. And I'm guessing it's because, like, he is basically, I think Goose mentioned that he is kind of not her insert character, but it's a character that she recognizes with, what's the word for it?
Resonates with
the most. So I think she was trying to tell her story through Jax, where it's like accepting oneself and like being okay with how they feel in their body, or like being okay with who they are as a person and stuff like that. I don't know. The whole like thing with Jax and his mom, like, I know some people are like, oh, she's trans, oh, she's a trans person, but I'm like, I think it's more the idea of like gender like fluidity with him and her, them.
Yeah.
Because like, I don't know. It doesn't, I wish there was like a more concrete answer to this, but I think it's like up in arms for everyone. But I see it as like, oh, he identifies as a guy, but he likes girly stuff. Like, he wants to like have long hair, or he wants to wear certain things, but he doesn't feel comfortable with it. Or like he knows that, or he wants to be more feminine, but he finds that if he does act feminine, that other people will be like.
Yeah, that's what like also was left unanswered. Like, I had a lot of questions where I was like, oh.
I don't know if it's just because we haven't rewatched anything since we watched it in movie theaters. Because I think if we were able to rewatch it now, on the YouTubes when it comes out, we would have a chance to like dissect everything. But I think it's kind of in that area, because we also see his human form, and it's very like gender neutral clothing with the hoodie and the long hair covering his face, and then
very emo,
very like casual look. But yeah, either way, I don't mind like where they took his direction, because like a lot of people were theorizing that he's uncomfortable, like he bullies other women because he feels like he's jealous of like how comfortable they are being feminine, or like how Gangle enjoys girly things and stuff, and she's allowed to like express that while he has to like feel like he has to shut that in, you know?
He's basically toxic masculinity in a way.
In a way, yeah, because like his dad left, and then the mom was like, "Oh, you're not manly enough, or you're too this, you're too that," and then do you feel like his trauma excuses the way he treated others, or it's more explained it?
I don't think it excused it. I feel like it explains why he acts the way he does, but I don't think it justifies it, because at the end of the day, he literally traumatized characters, literally made fun of characters like Zubul, who is already a genderqueer like character, and it's like in the scene where in his mind palace, where we see the scene with him and Gangle, and he was wearing the maid outfit, and he was like, "Oh, Zubul likes queer stuff like this, gender stuff like," and I was like, listen, man, you could be as traumatized as you want, but it ain't no excuse.
It ain't like that. Oh, I want to add...
giving Nate Jacobs from Euphoria.
No, stop. I found it so funny. Not funny. I found it terrifying where it was the first Mind Palace with Pomni and him, and his eyes went fucking like cat open Euphoria black. I'm like, oh my god, this is so scary. And we were in the front, so the bass was like right, the speakers were right there, so we're like hearing the whole time, and I'm like, oh my god, stop.
I saw his eyes, big ol' eyes.
Yeah, but I liked I'm curious about like, in the room with all three of them and the guy playing the piano, there's one door that's locked. I'm wondering if Pomni was abstracted. I'm wondering if that was his reaction and that was locked up. Or if that's like an aspect of himself that he doesn't want anyone seeing, or that he keeps locked away or something.
Yeah. I just remembered this when we were talking about like the whole feminine thing. Mm-hmm. It reminds me of the scene where Ribbit puts the ribbon on his head, and that kind of like switched him off a bit. Because it was like, oh, ribbon on the head, that's girly and stuff. And that's why he kept pushing her away.
Because when she put the ribbon on his head, she goes, "Your secret's safe with me." I feel like that was either referring to the fact that he opened up to her about him being homeless, or it was her understanding that, oh, he likes feminine things, and he admitted that to his mom, and his mom didn't approve of it. And then that whole thing,
and that's why also in episode 5, he was so angry when he got put in the maid outfit.
Yeah. I don't want to wear this. Yeah.
I don't want to wear this. But hey, Jax, don't worry, it's for the sake of the ladies.
I was rewatching everything, and I'm like catching lines that he says that I'm like, oh my god, it makes so much sense now. Like, this is an offhand one, but when they were doing the safari, and he's like, the red ribbon rhinoceros, just how mom used to make it. And I'm like, oh, your mom! Yeah, like catching things here and there. Like I think episode 7, beach episode, Zubul asks him, like, don't you have anyone waiting for you? And he's like hesitating, like, yeah, I think so. Yeah, I guess. I'm like, your mom, you know.
That scene where he's driving, though, like, is it supposed to be like after he pushed his mom and he like took the car and like drove away?
I'm guessing, yeah, he drove away and then the car either crashed or ran out of gas, and then he got out and then he started running, and then somehow, like, being on the streets, he eventually finds the mask. And then he wears it, and then his brain scan goes into the digital circus, but his real body was like, all right, I'm gonna go hang with a friend. And then move in with them, and then everything happened. But yeah, I really loved the last act. I know some people are gonna be like, oh, it was so, like, anticlimactic, like, how, that doesn't make any sense, and blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, no, it makes sense, because at the end of the day, they accept the fact that they're stuck there forever. Well, they're stuck there. That they're there, and that they're not technically the people that they were in real life. They're just scans of them. And instead of being like, it's over for us, we're all going to die, it's just, let's make the best of what we have, and let's make things better for each other, because we only have each other, so let's take care of each other, you know? And and then the montage at the end, I'm gonna start crying. The montage at the end with the music that they finished the pilot episode with, like, and then it got louder and louder, and it doesn't end with the monitor like it did in the pilot. It ends with them, because that's their universe now. They have nothing outside of it, and they're being content with it. And just Pomni smiling with everyone, like, as opposed to, like, when she was, like, about to lose her mind in the first episode. I'm like,
yeah.
I'm gonna start crying again.
I love the scene where, like, at the end, like, in the scene where she walks and then she waves at the camera, like, the first wall breaking, and I was like,
she's doing, because Jax wall break, because she's doing it to honor Jax, because Jax would always break the fourth wall, but now she was doing it to, like, honor him.
Yeah.
At least that's my take.
And I was like, I am happy they didn't do the whole reverse abstraction where Jax comes back, because I feel like him abstracting is a good conclusion to his character in a way.
Yeah, and it's not like, I feel like it was left open, because, like, now the abstractions are, like, in an aquarium in the dark, and they get to, like, swim around, and people get to see them and honor them in a way. And I feel like if there were,
Trigger gets to see his wife.
He gets to see his wife, and, like, like I said, like, I think the abstractions that were circling around where Pomni was looking was Kaufmo, Ribbit, and Jax, like, hanging out together. And yeah, and I think it opens a lot for, like, AUs where, like, yeah, they come back. It's the this and this and that, but I think the story that Gooseworks wanted to tell was they may be gone, but their presence is still there, and they're still being honored by the people around them, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like a bittersweet where it's like, so after someone dies, like, yeah, they're gone physically, but, like, they're still there, if that makes sense.
In a way, yeah. And I found that, yeah, it makes, I know people are going to be like, it doesn't make sense, but, like, yeah, it makes sense. Like, if anyone was going to abstract...
Yes, I'm illiteracy, people.
By the end of the show, if anyone was going to abstract, it was going to be Jax. Like, there was so many hints towards it.
Because it was building up since, like, since the end of episode 6.
Mm-hmm. Not even 5 too. Like, they all get guns. Like, he was. Oh, was it 5 or was it 6? That the episode 6. They all get. Oh, sorry. 6, they all get guns. Episode 6.
He was like having the panic attack of his life.
Yeah, but anyway, like, I really loved this show.
Yeah,
really, like,
I made like a list of likes and dislikes for the last act.
I mean, you can talk about what you didn't like. Go ahead. What did you
All
like
right.
and didn't like?
Well, what you mentioned about Jackson's extraction, I felt it was too sudden. Like, I know it was building up since the end of episode 2, but I wish it was more dramatic, and not just, oh, you extracted. Oh.
Yep.
And not like the whole like, balcony thing. I just wish it was more, like, it was more dramatic, if that makes sense.
Yeah, me too. Like, they could have done like a small scene where it's like, I don't know, like like he was yelling and fighting, or like Pomni turns the corner and he's like shifting into his abstraction form, because we've never seen a character abstract like in front of someone, right? It's always like behind the scenes and stuff.
Exactly. And then like, I did not like how soon it ended. I wish it was longer.
Yeah, I know, me too. But like, it's...
I also...
Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
I also felt like Kane's redemption was too quick, because like literally an episode ago he was torturing them.
Yeah.
Like, how did he go from like, oh, I'm the god now, it's a damn shame, I'm gonna torture you all, to like, I'm sorry guys, I would do anything you want.
He's such a cutie,
I would do anything you want, you guys.
Yeah. I think,
what else?
I'm also like, where's Bubble in all this? Like, was he the
I know. I was like, where's Bubble?
Where's Bubble?
Because I remember when I mentioned, I think the last discussion, where I was like, maybe Bubble is like a figment of his conscience and like the insecurities. What if Bubble was like the extension of like the
second AI?
The second AI. So maybe once he lets go of the second AI, he basically let go of Bubble, and he let go of his insecurities and his conscience, if that makes sense.
Well, the bad part of his conscience, basically.
Yeah, and I was really confused about the scene where like Kane was showing Pomni how to create shit with her mind, and then like it was not really used, because I thought Kane, after he got deleted or like sent to the void, everything started getting destroyed. So were they when they were doing the shit with their mind? Was it like them rebuilding a circus, or was it just them doing like telekinesis?
They're rebuilding stuff because, like, they can conjure because they're part of the code, right? So, because their brain scans are part of the code. It just comes easier to Kane because he built that place, right? So my thought process is Kane was not permanently deleted. He was just sent to the void, and he was able to get himself out of the void. And the characters, yes, they were able to rebuild what they could, but as soon as Kane returned, like, the color came back and everything turned back to normal, right?
Yeah.
So that's
my... They were trying to make, like, I get what you mean. I was very confused about that, but that answered.
Yeah, I'm probably stretching it here. Like, if Gooseworks were to do, like, a Q&A of, like, the after show, I think they would, like, say more thoughts about it, but, like, I'm okay with not knowing everything, because the whole point of a show is, like, show don't tell. Like, you don't want exposition, like, the whole time, you know?
Yeah, exactly. There was another, there's no DILF Kinger, because why does he look so young? Why isn't he a DILF? Like, why does he look so young? He's supposed to be in his 40s. Why is he so young? Why is he not a DILF?
Bro, he's in his 40s, no?
40s, 50s, I don't care. He's supposed to be a DILF.
Okay.
Bring the DILF.
Okay. Relax.
And then, like, the last thing is, like, some things, like, I was very confused about, like, but I think it's just me needing to rewatch it to actually understand. So maybe it's just me, or, like, because like, I felt some stuff was unanswered, but maybe it's just me because I need to rewatch it.
Okay, well, tell them to me. Maybe I can explain them to you.
So their minds are basically a copy.
Yeah.
But their real selves are in the real world.
Yeah.
Living. So it's like basically they're not getting out of the circus. Like, there's no way out.
No.
Because they're part of the code.
They are part of the code, yes. So basically, they put the headset on, and you know, like in hospitals and stuff, they do like brain scans or like X-rays to like get information about your brain and like what's in there and stuff like that. Basically, the scans that were taken from them putting on the headset were transferred into the digital circus. And that brain scan contained their memories, their thoughts, their personalities, what have you. But as soon as the real person took off the helmet, they're like, I'm guessing nothing happened because, like,
Yeah.
So they took off the helmet and were like, oh, okay.
Though.
And then they put it away, not thinking about it. And then they went on with their lives. But their brain scan from that moment that they put the helmet on, going forward from that moment, like everything happened in the digital circus, like they don't have recollection of the real world, because if they were, say, like the characters in the real world were to put on that headset again, I'm guessing those memories would then be uploaded into the character again. But because they only have what they, like, from the first time that person put on the headset, that's the only memories and thoughts that they have going for them. So that's basically, it's two versions of themselves. One that's stuck in the digital circus, which is just their brain scans from the moment they put on the headset, and then the person in the real world who goes on living their life after they put on the headset.
Mm-hmm. I was also, I will, this is not like a dislike, this is actually something I really like about the ending. I liked how it showed them all together, but it was kind of showing, like, remember when I mentioned how it was like, if they ever returned to the real world, maybe they would not have any memory of each other, but if they were near each other, it'd be like that where, like, you seem familiar, you know?
Yes!
So, like, having them all together, it'd be like, you seem familiar. It's
the
like,
bus
they're kind of separate, where they don't know each other, but just still that connection, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I love that. You know, I will say, the bus stop scene, did you see the 317 on the bus stop? You saw that?
No, I didn't see the 317. I was too focused on the
characters. Okay, anyway, there's a 317 on the bus stop, and people were like, oh, what does it mean? What does it mean? I'm like, someone on Twitter was like, guys, it's the area code, relax. It's nothing serious.
It's serious.
Not that deep, y'all. The 317 is just the area code. But I will say, people have been visiting the bus stop and leaving little, like, pictures and stuff, which is super cute.
Aww.
Yeah, I wish we could go.
That's cute. Yeah.
I really liked the ending. I will say, I did not expect them to have the faces that they did at the end. I mean, I don't mind it. I think it was very, very, like, a nod to the characters. Like, I'm not surprised they didn't use the actual voice actors, because I think the voice of a character doesn't necessarily
have to match the
face. Like, I'm not surprised that they had different actors, because you don't want to associate. I think Goose didn't want people to associate her characters with the voice actors, like how they look.
Yeah.
She had a specific look she wanted the characters to be. And
Jackson's a freaking bunny, Pomni's a jester, Zubul is parts, and Kinger is a king chess piece. So, like, who's supposed to be itself? But anyways.
Can you stop? Why are you so hooked on this? But you
because he was supposed to be.
Anyway, but you know what I mean with, like, the different actors, because Goose could have very well had, like, the actual voice actors, like, be the characters, but I think she had a specific look for the characters in real life, and so they hired actual, like, different actors than the actual voice actors, you know?
Yeah, I feel like it kind of fits, though.
Yeah, they fit well with their characters. Like, I'm not opposed to the way they did it. Like, I think it was perfect, because
yeah,
I think if I were to have seen, like, Michael Kovac and Ashley, like, playing their real life selves as, like, the real life characters, I would have been like, yo, it's them. But I think with this, it makes them, we're less attached to the real life versions of them, because we've only known their digital versions, right? So,
yeah, exactly.
Yes, getting to see them in real life was like, oh my god, but at the end of the day, we don't know these characters. We only know the characters from the digital circus. And that's what Goose wanted us to focus on, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, but anyway, it was amazingly done. Like, I want to cry again. Because, like, in the theater, I was, like, a mess. I was crying, like, the whole time. I was crying the whole time.
I'm pretty sure I abstracted just after the...
Have you seen the animated video on TikTok where it's like, after watching the TADC movie,
yeah,
and it's just...
the one I sent you with the people walking out and they're abstracted.
Yeah. But yeah, kudos to everyone on the team, the actors, the animators, Gooseworks, Glitch, like, you guys are amazing. We love you so much. Goose, enjoy your rest. Fucking, you deserve it. You take that hiatus for as long as you need. You did your job, babe. Like, go live your life. Right?
They got the revenue from the show.
They got the revenue from... Oh, you know what I saw? Someone was like, looking at the Oscar nominations, and they were like comparing it to Digital Circus, like the requirements for an Oscar nomination, and like the last act technically falls under the requirements. So they're like, I mean, technically.
I mean, perhaps.
Flow was an indie show, was an indie movie, so I wouldn't be surprised. Like, even if they just get nominated, like, oh my god, I would lose my mind.
Oh. Nominate TADC The Last Act for Oscars.
I would lose my mind if they got nominated. I would lose my mind.
Same, and I would be like, they better win. In the animation, they better win.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see. Who knows? Like the Oscars are like next year, so.
Great.
Yeah.
I usually don't follow the Oscars because I just don't care, but for this, I will do it.
Girl, I only like log in whenever it's stuff that I care about. Like this year it was K-pop Demon Hunters and Sinners. That's all I cared about.
Yeah, no, I get that. For me, it's like, if it's something I care about, then I'm like, yeah. But if it's TADC, they better get freaking nominated, I swear.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see from like a year from now. But anyway, do you have anything else to say?
I think I'm good.
Me
what
too.
About you?
I'm very good. I love the show. I wish there was more of it, but I think it ended very well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, guys, we hope you enjoyed our little discussion video on The Last Act. We thank you so much for listening. Once again, I'm Talia.
I'm Talia.
And this has been the Talented Darlings podcast. Goodbye.